two of them were holding him down by his arms, and another guy was behind him.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Hello everybody. The other day I was talking to ex-con. He'd been in prison in both Kansas and Missouri, but the story he told me takes place, I believe it was Crossroads. It might have been Cameron. Either way, they're right next to one another, except they're closer to Kansas City. Anyway, he did one of the things that you're not supposed to do. He looked in a cell. But the reason he did is he seen three guys go into a cell. He said he looked like he was up to no good, where this young white dude had just came in. He was new, fresh. So he looks in, looks like they knocked everything off the desk. The desks are, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet long, a couple feet wide. You got a bottom where you put stuff on. A lot of people put TVs and stuff on top. This guy hadn't had his TV or anything yet, but it looked like they knocked everything off. They had two of them were holding him down by his arms, and another guy was behind him. He said, I had this little shank-like thing I made out of melted spoons. You take 2 or 3 spoons and you melt them together and shape it the way you want, and it's like a little shank. I can do a video on that if you want me to show you how to make one. So he runs in there and he hits the guy like about where his kidney's at with that shank. The other two, lets go of the kid, comes around and attacks him, just starts beating the crap out of him, kicking him, stomping him once they get him down. And he said it just so happened the CO comes in and hears the ruckus and everything, runs over there. One of them apparently tries fighting him. He said the CO backs off, and I guess he sprayed him or whatever. He said I start smelling that mace, you know, that pepper spray. But he said next thing you know, all kinds of COs are coming in there, and they took them all to the hole. And I said, the young guy didn't help you any? And he goes, no. He goes, I didn't really expect him to, man. He said the kid was traumatized. He's got a point there, but I mean, I'm thinking the kid should at least try to help, you know. But I also understand what he's saying too. The kid's really messed up. But what messed him up, and he said, I'm still physically messed up because of that. He said years later, he goes, I am messed up. He goes, I'm not able to lift more than 5 pounds and stuff, or at least that's what the doctors told me. He goes, they got me on meds and all kinds of things. But he said, what really messes me up is they took all of us to the hole, all 5 of us. I said, well, that doesn't surprise me in Missouri. I said, if there's an altercation, something happening, they're going to take everybody to the hole. That's just the way it is. I said, when I first got to prison, I got the crap beat out of me too. And I said, I went to the hole, and I said, I had a conduct violation. It said that I was a victim of an assault. They gave me an ass whooping I will never forget, man. Beat me. It was partly my fault, you know. They beat me down. They started to leave. I called them some punks. You don't call people punks and the B word and stuff in prison, you know. It's just, you just don't, you know, unless you're ready to fight. And I'd already got my ass beat. What he's talking about is rare in Missouri. It might not be rare in places like Alabama and other places down south, but in Missouri it's kind of rare. It does happen, but it's just rare. But I told him that that was kind of rare, and he goes, well, he goes, it was the first time I'd seen anything like that, and I didn't know, you know, I couldn't let that just happen, you know. He said that's why I looked in the cell, you know. He goes, I know old heads like you think that's wrong and stuff, but he said, and I said, I think you did a good thing, man, but you see, now you're messed up for life, you know. He goes, yeah, I am, but he said, I still can't get over them taking me to the hole in the kid. He said, especially the kid. I said, well, you stabbed somebody, you know, in the back of all places, you know. Of course they're going to take you to the hole, and they probably charge you for it too. He goes, they set my parole back 5 years, and he goes, it's not like I deleted the guy or anything. He goes, I was just trying to stop that. He goes, I was helping the guy. And I said, how long did they keep the kid in the home? He goes, I don't know, but they took him to the hole. I said, I'm going to say he probably wasn't in the hole very long, you know. But he went to the hole because they was trying to figure out what all transpired, you know. They take everybody, you know. And he said, well, it's really messed up and they need to change that. He kept saying that over and over. And it is really messed up that you can defend yourself in prison and still go to the hole. You know, it doesn't matter. You'll go to the hole. But I'm telling this story because young people out there messing up, going to prison. I'm not saying something like this is going to happen, but there's always that chance. Not to mention you got to deal with stuff every day from both the COs and the convicts. Don't get to go to weddings, birthdays, holidays, none of that stuff. Just don't do anything to land you in prison. I'm sorry I didn't mention that guy's name. He asked me not to. But that was one of the stories. You know, I asked him, I said, man, hey, can I tell a story in a video? And he goes, yeah. He goes, if it's going to help somebody, if you think it's going to help somebody. He goes, I was just telling you because, you know, you've been in prison, you know. I don't really talk about this much, but you've been in prison. I figured I'd tell you. He goes, I was really messed up that we all went to the hole, you know. It doesn't surprise me that they all went to the hole. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.